Hey, it's Sam from Fantasy Football Flash. Today, we're going to be talking about championship seasons versus losing seasons. Do you want to be a champion? Do you want to have a championship season? Well, follow these three things and you will get there. Number one is the draft. Make sure you are having a balanced, well-rounded draft. Build that platform for your team and implant those roots. I strongly recommend putting a high emphasis on the wide receiver and running back positions. And the reason why is the quarterback, kicker, defense, and even the tight end position. They are streamable positions. The running back and wide receiver positions are not. So make sure to emphasize on that. Now, of course, every team is going to have strengths and weaknesses. And hopefully you're one of those teams that just has all strengths and no weaknesses. But in the event you do have a weakness, just make sure it's not the running back and wide receiver positions. So put emphasis on that. Make sure to have a strong draft. Number two, it's actually more important than the draft, is waivers. Make sure you cash in on waivers. And you don't just go for the quantity of the waiver. You don't just put in a lot of waivers, but put in the right waivers. Let me say that again. Don't just put in a lot, put in the right ones. It's not about quantity, it's about quality. Okay? I've actually seen guys, they'll have a bad draft and they'll transform their entire team through the waiver wire. They'll play it smart and they will win championships. And this is something that I can't emphasize highly enough. And like, for example, let's say you have a good running back committee. You did good on the draft. You have a good running back committee. There's a running back that, let's say they got hurt. The backup moves up. They're a talented backup. They're very explosive, and you know this. And you skip on this running back, that is a big mistake. Don't skip on him. Cash in on him. And the reason why is you don't know when you're going to need this guy. You may need him later on in the year. And you don't want to be the one that gives him up to someone else and they use that weapon against you in the playoffs. That is a big mistake. So don't pass up on those high-end running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, whichever it may be in the waiver that can help you transform your team. That is what's going to get you to the playoffs, okay? The third thing that I want to talk about is not just drafting, not just waivers, but playing the right guys. Number three, playing the right guys. So if your bench is looking better and scoring more points than your lineup, that is a problem. Now, of course, throughout the season, you're going to get a feel for your team. You're going to know which guys to plug in, and you should. If you're to the playoffs and you don't know who to plug in, then you got problems, and you're probably going to end up shooting yourself in the foot, and you're going to lose championships. Champions know who to plug in. They know the right guys to play. They play the right guys, thus they win championships. And this is what's going to get you over that hump to the championship, and you'll win it. You have to make the right decisions, okay? You have to know your team. You have to know what they're capable of and what they're not, and you'll get a feel for this. For instance, let's say, matchups. You'll take a look at the matchups. You'll take a look at that cornerback opposite your wide receiver. It may be a situation where the defense is lined up on the opposite side of your running back, is facing off against your running back, and this is a guy I don't want to play because of the defense. Well, take into account all these things. Learn them, apply them, and make the right moves. This is going to help you win championships. So follow these three things, master them, and you will win championships. If you don't, you fail to master these three things, you have problems with it, you're going to have problems throughout your season, and it's going to be very difficult to win those championships. So hopefully this helps. Like the video, subscribe to my page, and I'll see you guys later. Thank you.